me for? You want to go in? Do you want to go in? You've got to get out of the way or it will hit you. I can't open it if you stood there. That's a good girl. It's only your second time, isn't it? Go on then, be a brave girl. Oh, good girl. Let Mama in. I'm going to say hello to everyone. I'll turn the heater off, stop giving it eyeballs. Yeah. You're going to say hello to everybody. And also, say Mama is the first time cat mama. So, any advice? We'd be much grateful for, wouldn't we, baby? Baby girl. Hi my loves, welcome back to my channel. This week I decided to do a vlog again because on the weeks when I don't record a proper video I'm going to do vlogs and I didn't record anything this week because it's all been about a cat. So I'll leave the story for the end for you guys that want to know how this lifelong dog person, never been a cat person, I don't understand how this has happened. I own a cat. I'll let you know at the end how that happened. And this week for creative wise, I've only done a couple of things. The first thing is I went to my city studio and I started painting the biggest canvas I have done in a while. So I've decided I want to do a really big canvas, so I might go for the biggest one I've got back here. I don't really know what I want to do for the background exactly, but I do have this really gorgeous poem that I want to put on the forefront. So what I'm going to do is set up some plastic, maybe this easel, set up some plastic down here and just paint on the floor. And I'm just going to take or try and find some paper, maybe only one specifically, that I want to put on the background and take that as my inspiration for the colour palette. I've got a lot of different papers in here, so I'm gonna get digging. Oh well, I said I wanted to work on the floor, didn't I? So I've discovered I don't really like any of the papers for the canvas. Maybe these tissue paper, but not for a background. I would put these butterflies on top. But I have found this kind of purple that could go in the background, and I have got, I quite like this palette. So although I don't like the paper for the canvas, I might use these kind of, they're not pastels, they're too bright to be pastels, but that kind of combination of brights but in greens, purples and pinks, and I'll use that for my inspiration. think we'll see. I wanted to just have limited colour because I need to do something really simple today and just get a background down and paint with my hands and just stick to a really simple, limited colour palette. Now this has got this teal, this dark teal. I'm not going to use the grey of the butterfly tissue paper, but I could kind of take it as a bit of inspiration and make this a bit more steely blue, like some of those butterflies, or I could keep it bright. But the others are quite bright, and this in comparison is quite dark. So yeah, I'm going to mix it, make it more steely, I think, and then if I add this colour on top later without mixing it, it will pop more. I think if I do it as the background being bright, there's less room to go. using up the paint that I've mixed to fill as much of the canvas as I can, ready for next time. Beginning to lose the light. Oh, I like this. It's all moody lighting. This canvas I think is going to take a few layers, so I'm going to keep returning when I can to my city studio to complete that canvas. If you want another art video from me this week, then I did also post the monthly challenge in the group on my art journaling community journal workshops, where we are playing with layered graphite. That's the challenge. We're doing layers and layers and layers of different things with graphite in between and seeing what we come up with. So if you want to see that video, you can go and check that out now. I also do giveaways every month as well in that group, so I'll put a link in the cards and in the description below. And as for the cat, I have a cat and she's the most beautiful darling ever. But I still cannot, I don't think I'm ever going to get over. I'm a lifelong dog owner. I was born with a dog in my crib. So it's a bit of a, I don't think I'm ever going to get over it, in all honesty. I look at her and I know I'm in love with her, but at the same time I'm still like, it's a cat. It's a cat, it's not a dog, it's a cat. So you guys have seen her on the vlogs a few weeks ago. I for about a year have thought that she was a stray because she's been basically living in my garden for about a year. And she was very scared and it took her a while to warm up. I thought she was scared of all people, but then, you know, she took a liking to me, so I would feed her and pet her and sit with her and everything outside. I thought she was going to stay an outside cat. Soon as I let her in, she decided she lived there. After I realised when I'm letting her out, she's not leaving the property, you know, so there's another reason why I thought she was a stray. She's so little. She eats anything and all things I give her and all of it, even though she's stressed. She actually used to like me sitting with her while she was eating because she was so alert to everything. I thought she was just constantly, you know, on the lookout for predators or whatever, that she liked me sitting there with her because I think she felt protected, you know, so she would put like her back to me knowing that I'd got her back, and then she'd have her vision, you know, in front and just be looking, constantly making sure that she was okay. So yeah, there's loads of reasons why I thought she was a stray. So as she wasn't leaving, I bought a cat carrier, took her to the vets. The night before, I actually wept quite a lot because I knew I wanted her, and I knew if she didn't have owners I would keep her because she was so happy with me. She just, all of her scaredy stressedness just disappeared and she became the most blissed out, gentle, happiest cat ever. And so I knew if she wasn't chipped, and I asked about and I couldn't find any owners for her, I was going to keep her for life. So I wept because I knew that that meant that I wouldn't have another dog, and I knew that she was a one pet household. Some animals thrive with other animals and some animals don't want that, and I could tell with her that she doesn't want that. The same, my last dog, Sweepy Bum, as some of you remember, he came to me from a rescue home and he was stressed at the beginning as well, and he did not want, you know, he just wanted human company, a peaceful place, and I can tell that this little baby is exactly the same. So I wept because it meant for me that was basically how I thought my life would look had changed. Not that I didn't want her, I did want her, and as I said, I would have her, but it also meant that I wasn't going to be able to have another dog. But then it was discovered she was chipped and had owners and had to be taken to the vets a couple of times and also handed directly to the owners, even though she was squirming and didn't want to go. The wife, the first time I spoke to her was very gracious and acknowledged that the cat hadn't been happy for a while, and that she recognised that she can't make cats do what they don't want to do, but her son didn't understand that, and her son wanted a dog, so they'd gotten a dog, and obviously she hadn't been happy since. And yeah, so the only way that they could keep her was to basically lock her in the house, which for an animal that likes their freedom obviously isn't fair to trap her in the house with another animal that she is stressed out by. And so she would come back and would be stressed for half an hour, and then she would just, you know, she'd be scratching and stuff, and then she'd be relaxed again within half an hour when she realised that she was staying. But I think they realised pretty soon they were happy to give the ownership, because I never put pressure on. I always said, well, do whatever you want, you know. I'm aware that it was their cat, but at the same time she wasn't happy, and the only way that you could keep her was to make her unhappy. So yeah, they have transferred ownership, and she now no longer has to be kicked out, which is wonderful, because it was stressing me out having her outside and not being able to let her in, and you know, trying to get her to go home to a place that she didn't want to go. And she'd been disappearing by all accounts beforehand, and didn't, obviously she just went there for necessity, when she needed to get warm, when she needed food, whereas she stays out for 3-4 hours and spends the other 20 hours inside. She's completely reversed now that she's in a comfortable, you know, very content environment. She's a house cat now. And when she does go out, she just roams this garden or the neighbour's garden, and that's her domain, and she's perfectly happy with that. So I have a cat. Hopefully you guys that are seasoned cat mamas and poppers can give me some advice. I'll gratefully take anything, because this is something I never thought I would be. She's adorbs. She's the only cat I think I could have fallen for, honestly, because I've always been scared of cats. When I was little, I got pretty badly scratched because I was never taught that cats and dogs were different. So because I was a dog person, and I was always around dogs, and I've had dogs all my life. As a little girl, I didn't understand that cats didn't have the same temperament, you know, they don't want to be petted if they don't want to be petted, etc. Whereas my animals have always been happy for me to do whatever I wanted, basically. So I've taken that through to adulthood, and friends that have had cats, I've always put cushions on my laps, on my lap when they come to sit on you, because of the kneading of the claws and stuff. But my little girl, she's wonderful with all of that. She knows when to retract her claws, and she's just the gentlest, sweetest little girl who doesn't tear shit up. You know, so she's the right one for me. So yeah, that's it for this week. Thanks guys for listening. I'll see you next week. Bye. Bye 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 bye.